Hello, folks. This is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball guessing game. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on March 17th, 2018. If you want to get my game, Decoding the Powerball, to help and assist you picking your own numbers, then please go to my website at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. I have 7 strategies with my game Decoding the Powerball. So strategy number 1, the game card color code. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, why I make them is to show you on how to use my game. Okay, so there is a bit of a learning curve here. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call the game card. This represents all 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. I really don't have anything for the Powerball itself. My goal is to get all 5 white balls correct and win the $2 million prize with the Power Play option. Okay, so first things first is I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage, and the 5 white winning numbers that just came up were the 6, 12, 24, 41, and 68. Again, I really don't care about the red ball. Okay, so what I do is I take those 5 white winning numbers and I put it at the top of this list, and then I take the last 3 drawings of numbers and I transfer these numbers over to the game card as red numbers. Then I'll do the same thing with orange, green, blue, and purple. I have 5 different colors, one to represent each one of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So for this drawing here, I have 14 red numbers, 13 orange, 13 green, 19 blue, and 10 purple. And the number of colors change with every single drawing. Okay, so over here to the right is 211. This represents how many color code drawings I kept track of so far. And these are the color code drawings. Okay, so out of this 211 drawings, 113 have come up a 3-color combination. 75 drawings have come up a 4-color combination. 19 drawings have come up a 2-color combination. And only 4 times out of 211 drawings have all 5 colors come up together, and never has it been just one color. Okay, so what I do here, how I use my game, is I try to predict what the next number will be right here. Okay, so more than half the time, a 3-color combination will come up. Okay, but for this drawing here, I just think it's going to be another 4. Okay, so as I go down through, you can see that here's a single 4, here's a single 4, and here's a double 4 right here. Okay, and that's what I think is going to happen. I think this is going to double up. Okay, so when I'm picking what I think will be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers, I want it to represent 4 colors out of the 5-color color code here. Okay, so my overall strategy is this. Okay, I want to eliminate numbers. Okay, so again, there's 69 white ball numbers total. Only 5 numbers can come up as winners. Okay, so that means 64 numbers can't come up at all. Okay, so for me, I just think it should be easier to pick the numbers that won't be coming up than the 5 that actually do. Okay, so to help me eliminate numbers here from the color code is I want to point out again that hardly ever do all 5 colors come up together. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these colors won't be coming up and eliminate that group of numbers off of the game card. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that no purple numbers will be coming up. Okay, so for one reason is that purple only has 10 numbers for this drawing. Okay, and since this changes all the time, just last week or 2 weeks ago, the purple was up to 15 numbers. Okay, so it fluctuates a lot. Okay, so again, when I look at the purple, for some reason, it will come up like 2-3 drawings and then it will just go away. Okay, like right here, you can see that there's no purple numbers. Okay, so the last 3 drawings were purple. And I just think that purple numbers won't be coming up on the next drawing. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these purple numbers off of the game card. Okay, so to speed things up, I'm going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so you can see that those purple numbers are blocked out. Okay, so when I block out a number like this means that I'm not even going to consider this number when I'm picking what I think will be the 5-way winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm spending $3 on a Powerball ticket, which includes the power play. Okay, so in other words, I'm betting $3 that none of these purple numbers will come up in the next drawing. Okay, so if I'm correct with my pick and none of these purple numbers come up, then I'm one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 2, the individual numbers. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the individual numbers. Okay, and how this works is up at the very top is the master for each individual number. Okay, and over to the right here are the numbers that just came up in a lottery. Again, it was the 6, 12, 24, 41, and 68. Okay, so that means that was a 5-group combination. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this down so you can see the whole card. And you're going to see that there's 7 groups here total. Okay, so group number 1 holds the numbers of 1 through 9. And then it's the teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Again, for 7 groups total. Okay, so there's only 5 winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 2 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate that group of numbers off of the game card. Okay, so again, there's 64 numbers that won't be coming up, and we want to guess part of it right here. Okay, we want to try to guess which one of these numbers won't be coming up. What part of this group won't be coming up. Okay, so for me, looking at this and how I use this is this big square right here. This is good for 5 drawings. Okay, so I like to break things down into 5 for a couple reasons. The first reason is I could go back into history and count real quick saying that this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on. Okay, another thing is my theory is that if there's a lot of hits within these 5 drawings for this group of numbers, then maybe there won't be so many hits in the next 5 drawings, okay, or vice versa. Okay, and that's what I think is going to happen here with the teen numbers here, okay? So my guess is that none of these teen numbers will be coming up in the next drawing, okay? So I'm going to eliminate these teen numbers off of the game card. Okay, so another way I can use this is I'm going to blow this back up here. Okay, another way is I could highlight a certain number like this 16, okay? And I could go down through and see when the last ball came up, the last 16 number came up, and what color it was, and so on, okay? So that's one way I can use this as well, okay? And another way that I use this is I try to guess what this next number will be, okay? So for me, I think that it's going to be a 3, okay? So when I'm picking what I think will be the 5 winning Powerball numbers, I want it to represent just 3 groups, okay? So now I'm going to go back to the game card here. I'm going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far with no purple numbers to it and now no teen numbers as well. Okay, so I'd like to show you step by step on how I take the numbers off the board here. Okay, so again, that's the name of the game, is to reduce the numbers. Okay, and then if I make all the correct picks, then the 5 winning Powerball numbers will be highlighted here on the game card. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 3, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 1. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my group 1 numbers. Okay, so basically what I did is I taken all the numbers and I divided it into 4 different groups, and I put colors to these groups. Okay, So when the 5 white winning Powerballs come up, I record where they land within these groups down here in the stats. Okay, so this is for the red area, and of course the blue is for the blue area, and so on here. Okay, so for the last drawing, I'm going to go back to the Powerball homepage, and the 5 white winning numbers that came up were the 6, 12, 24, 41, and 68. Okay, so as I go back here, you can see that the 12 is in the red area here. Okay, so down here in the red, that's why I put a 1. Okay, so that 1 represents that 12 number up here. Okay, so in the blue, there was the 6 and the 24. Okay, so down here in the blue stats, I have a 2, and of course that represents that 6 and 24. Okay, and then in the orange area, it was the 41 and the 68 here. Okay, so that's why I have a 2. Okay, in the green, there was no winning Powerball numbers, so I have a 0. Okay, and when I have a 0, I mark it blue. Okay, so basically the red means hot, hit, hot, whatever, and the blue means that it's cold or a miss. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess where these zeros are going to pop up. Okay, so if I could have correctly guessed that none of these green numbers were going to come up in the last drawing, I could have eliminated all these numbers and really gave myself a better chance at picking the real 5 white winning Powerball numbers that would have came up. Okay, so again, the strategy is to pick the numbers that won't be coming up. Okay, so I have 15 of these option cards. Okay, so you can see that this is option card number 1. And over here in option card number 2, you can see that these are the green numbers over here. Okay, so they all kind of look the same as far as red, blue, orange, and green. I just used these 4 colors for all 15 option cards. Okay, it's just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different from each other from each different option card. Okay, so my first guess is going to be this green area on option card number 1. I don't believe that these green numbers will be coming up again. Okay, so the reason why is because you can see that here's a single 0 here. Okay, and every once in a while these zeros will double up, like right over here. Okay, so for me, I'm looking at this and there's 13 of these single zeros here. Okay, so I just think that is due to double up. Okay, so again, I think that there's going to be a 0 right here. So that means I don't believe that any of these green numbers will be coming up in the next drawing. So I want to get rid of them. Okay, so how this works as well is you can see this 69 number. Okay, this shares the square with the 53. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, so you can see that these numbers out here to the side, this 53 again shares the square with the 69. Okay, so what that means is that if I get rid of these numbers as a group, I'm going to get rid of the 53 and the 69 at the same time as a group. Okay, so the reason why I don't have this 53 crammed in with the 69 over here is because of the color code. Okay, so you can see that the 53 is green and the 69 is red. Okay, so I need some separation. Okay, but again, if I'm going to get rid of all these numbers as a group, I'm going to get rid of the 69, the 69 and the 53 at the same time. Okay, so as I go back to group 1 here, that's what I'm going to do is eliminate these green numbers. So I'm going to go back to the game card. And I'm going to eliminate these green numbers. Okay, which I already have here. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far. So you can see that all these green numbers are gone, including the 53. Okay, so my next pick out of group 1 is going to be option card number 7, no orange numbers. Okay, so as I scroll down through, again, the funny thing is this row, okay, what this means is that all 4 colors got hit, okay? And when that happens, I call that a row, Okay, so that just helps me stick out as I go down through. Okay, so how I use this is if I think that this is going to be a row for the next one. Okay, that means that I want uh, all 5 colors. Okay, all 5 numbers to represent these 4 colors here. Okay, when I think that one of these option cards is going to have a row to it. Okay, I don't think that that's going to happen. I think there's going to be a 0 right here for this orange. Okay, so I want to get rid of all these orange numbers off of the game card. Okay, so these numbers right here in group 1, they never change. Okay, only the game card colors change. Okay, so again, I'm going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, from Group 1, option card number 7, no orange numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Group 1 for one more pick. And that is option card number 9, no blue numbers. Okay, so here's option card number 9. Okay, and I think that there's going to be a 0 right here. I think that this is going to triple up. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate all these blue numbers off of the game card. So again, I'm going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so again, if I made all the correct picks and all those picks where I say those numbers aren't going to come up, if I made all the correct picks, then the 5 white winning Powerball numbers will be within these numbers that are still left on the board. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. And that's strategy number 4, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 2. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my group 2 numbers. Okay, so much like group 1, where I divided things into 4 different groups, here I divided things into 8 different groups. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 3 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate that group of numbers off of the game card. Okay, so how this works is I'm going to blow this up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to point out this red area. Okay, so here in the red, you can see that there's 8 squares total. But the 65 and the 25 share this square, so there's actually 9 numbers in this group. Okay, so down here in the stats, I have 15 of these option cards as well. And they all kind of look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Okay, so much like group 1, you can see that the red is going up and down here. And over in option card number 2, you can see that the red goes side to side. Okay, so it's just a little bit different. And it all uses the same colors. Okay, red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Okay, so my first pick out of group 2 is going to be option card number 1, no purple numbers. Okay, so how I use this is here you can see that I keep track of every 5 drawings. Okay, and why I do that is to show me a majority of things. Okay, so if there's 3 or more hits, I color this red for hot. If there's 3 or more zeros or misses, I color it blue for cold. Okay, so that helps me try to make a decision here on what's going to be hot and cold as a group. Okay, so when I look at this, okay, I just know that this group of numbers, since there's 9 numbers to this group as well, it just can't stay hot forever because there's so many other numbers that can come up. Okay, so this is where the randomness of the game comes. It works in my favor now. Okay, because now I'm counting on the game being random. Okay, because again, nothing can stay hot forever and nothing can stay cold forever. Okay, so when I see something that's wicked hot, like right here in this purple area, okay, eventually it's going to turn cold. Okay, so here I think that there's going to be a 0 right here, which means that I don't believe that any of these purple numbers are going to come up. So since I don't believe that they're going to come up, I want to get rid of them. So I'm going to eliminate these purple numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down. Okay, and I'm going to just reduce this down a little bit. Okay, so you can read down here, group 2, option card number 1, no purple numbers. So you can see that all those purple numbers are gone. Okay, so it was the 21 and the 29, and I don't believe that those are going to come up, so I want to get rid of them. So you can see that I don't have it here anymore. Okay, so I'm off to my next pick. And my next pick in group 2 is option card number 2, no green numbers. Okay, so as I scroll over to option card number 2 here. Okay, here's the stats for the green, and as I head down through, you can see that things got pretty hot right here, and now I think they're going to cool off. So I think there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these green numbers off of the game card, just because I don't believe that they're going to come up in the next drawing. Okay, so I'm going to go to the game card. Now I'm going to scroll to the left. And this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so what was left in that green area was the 25, 26, 28, and the 65. Okay, so the 25 shares the square with the 65. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of those as a group. And this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so again, if I made all the correct picks, then the 5-way winning Powerball numbers will be within these numbers that are still left on the board. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2. And my next pick is option card number 3, no blue numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for blue. And as I head down through, you can see that things have gotten really, really hot here. And now I think they're going to cool off. So I think there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these blue numbers off of the game card. What's left on the game card. Okay, so you can see that there's nothing over here in the 38, and the only one left here is the 1. Okay, so as I scroll to the left here, you see that 1 is gone now. Okay, so just one more number that I got off the board. Okay, everyone counts. All right, so the less numbers to choose from, the better. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2, and my next pick is going to be option card number 12, no gray numbers. So again, I have 15 of these option cards total, and they all look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Okay, just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different from each other from each different option card. Okay, so here I am at number 12, and I don't believe that any gray numbers are going to come up. So here's the stats for the gray. And as I head down through, you can see that things got wicked, wicked hot here. Okay, so I think there's going to be a 0 right here. So I want to get rid of any gray numbers that are left on the board. Okay, so it's the 2, 9, 17, 26. Okay, for some reason those are all gone. All right, so I'm going to move on to option card 14. No gray numbers. Okay, so here's the gray, and as I head down through, you can see that things got really, really hot, and I think there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I want to get rid of any gray numbers that are still left on the board here. Okay, so as I go back, I'm going to scroll to the left. And this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I have one more pick. And that is option card number 15, no yellow numbers. Okay, so as I head down through, here's the stats for the yellow. Okay, you can see that things have been kind of cold here. Okay, but for the last 10 drawings, there's been 8 out of 10 hits. Okay, so I just think that is due to miss. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these yellow numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll down through. Okay, so I started out with 69 white ball numbers. Okay, and now I'm down to 1 and 5 is 6, and 1 over here is 7. Okay, so the 58 shares the square with the 68 here. Okay, so I'm down to 7 numbers total. Okay, so hopefully I made all the correct picks, and the 5 white winning Powerball numbers are within this 7 numbers that are still left on the board. Okay, so to help me pinpoint where those numbers are going to come up, I'm going to turn to my next strategy. And that's strategy number 5, the 50-50 picks. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the 50-50 picks. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so there's going to be a majority of either odd numbers or even numbers, or a majority of high numbers or low numbers. Okay, so I like to keep track of what the majority has been so I could make a guess on what the majority will be in the future. Okay, so here's how it works. Over here, this 255. This represents how many drawings I kept track of so far. And out of this 255, 130 drawings have come up the majority of odd numbers. 125 drawings have come up the majority of even numbers. Okay, so for this drawing here, for some reason, I just think that it's going to stay to the odds. Okay. So when I'm picking what I think will be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers, I want it to represent at least 3 odd numbers. Okay. So next is high and low. Okay, all the high numbers are in red, all the low numbers are in blue, and you can see that the 65, 67, and 66 are all on the low side. Okay, so even though that they're high numbers, it's all of how you record in the stats. Okay, so since they're in the blue, I record them as a low number. Okay, so as I head on through here, okay, I also have left and right, and I also have this red and blue. Okay, but the only one that I feel comfortable guessing at is more odd numbers than the even numbers. Okay, and one more thing, this is what I do have for the Powerball itself. Okay, so this is that red ball number right here. Okay, there's 26 of those red balls. So here in this column, a blue number means that it's low, 1 to 13, and a red number means that it's a high number, 14 to 26. Okay, and over in this column here, a red number means that it's odds, and a blue number means that it's evens. Okay, so for me, just looking at this, I think that this is going to be red over here, which means I think it's going to be a high number. And over here, I think that this is going to be red as well. So I think the Powerball is going to be a high odd number. Okay, so as I go back to the game card here, I'm going to scroll to the right. And with the 50-50 picks, okay, I think the majority of the 5 white winning numbers will be odd numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the next strategy. Okay, strategy number 6, picking the numbers I hope will hit from groups 1 and 2. Okay, so I'm just going to stick to group 2 for right now. Okay, so again, there's 15 of these option cards. Okay, and they all look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Okay, all the same colors. All right, so what that means is that there's 15 red areas, 15 blue areas, 15 orange areas. Okay, to represent each option card. All right, so I like to keep track of those as a whole. Okay, so I call that the group 2 overview. Okay, and I keep that over here. So I'm going to go to the group 2 overview right now. Okay, so this is the Group 2 overview. And this is what I mean by 15 option cards, 15 red area option cards. In the last drawing, there was 8 hits within those 15 option cards and 6 misses. Okay, so in the all 15 blue areas, there was 7 hits and 8 misses. Okay, so why this is red and this is blue is because the 8 is the magic number here. So if there's 8 or more hits, I color this red for hot. If there's 8 or more misses, I color it blue for cold. Okay, so that helps me able to make a decision on what's going to be hot and cold as a group. Okay, so for this drawing here, as I look back through on this brown section, okay, I just see a lot of misses to it, so I think that this is going to be another red area right here. Okay, so I want at least 8 hits in this red area, in this brown area, to make this red right here. Okay, so as I go back to the game card here, I'm going to scroll to the right. Okay, and what this says is I think there's going to be a lot of hits among the 15 brown areas in Group 2. Okay, so this represents option card number 1. Okay, so here's the brown area. It's from the 6 down to the 62. Okay, so as I go back to the game card, and I go from the 6 down to the 62, you can see that there's no numbers left, so I put a 0 right here. Okay, so on option card number 2, you can see that the brown is from the 41 over to the 48. Okay, so the only one left here is the 43, so I wrote that down right here. Okay, so hopefully you understand what I'm doing here. Maybe I'll do one more. Okay, option card number 3. Okay, so you can see that it was the 5 down to the 29 and the 34 down to the 68. So there's nothing over here on the 5, and then over here on the 34, it's the 50, 58, and 68. So I wrote that down right here on the third option card. Okay, so this represents all 15 option cards. Okay, so now I'm going to go off to my last strategy, and that's strategy number 7, picking my numbers. Okay, so as I scroll to the right here, the numbers that I'm going to go with for this drawing are the 4, 43, 50, 51, and 59. Okay, so with this combination of numbers, this will give me 8 hits and 7 misses. Okay, so you can see it's the 43, the 50, the 58. The 58 shouldn't be there. Okay, so I'm going to take those off. Okay, so again, the numbers that I'm going to go with are the 4, 43, 50, 51, and 59. And the reason why I'm going with this is because when I bring up that color code again, remember I wanted a 4 right here, which represents 4 colors. All right, so as I go back here, you can see that the 4 is green, the 43 is red, the 50 is blue, the 51 is red, and the 59 is orange. So that gives me that 4 colors that I'm looking for. Okay, so again, the numbers that I'm going with is the 4, 43, 50, 51, and 59. Okay, so again, it will give me 8 hits, 7 misses. So as I go back, again, I think that this is going to be an 8. And this is going to be a 7, which will make this a red area up here. Okay, so hopefully that's what happens. All right, so again, if you're interested in my game, okay, what I'm looking to do here is build a community where people share their picks using my game/system. Okay, if you're interested in using my game and would like to meet others using the game to share picks, then please go to my website at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. Okay, so if you'd like to send me some feedback, then please email me at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Again, that's decodingpowerball@gmail.com. All right, folks, I appreciate you watching. The jackpot is huge, so I want to wish you the best of luck at picking your numbers. All right, folks, again, thanks for watching.